Good morning, my name is Megan Strang, and today we'll be examining case study number 2, Women in the Workplace. Businesses today are known for their acceptance of diversity and their rate of growth. However, quite a few businesses and those in senior leadership positions are still practicing discrimination. Unfortunately, it is towards the very people they work with and spend time with. Women have come a long way in regards to attaining equality in society. Nevertheless, women are still finding that they are being pushed lower on the management chain in businesses, especially if they have a family to provide for. This ignorance towards women and their different styles of leading and learning must stop in the business place before women, their ideas and their values are removed from the sphere of influences in businesses today altogether. The case study that is being examined is one that tackles the unfair stereotypes that are placed on women in business settings, and the belief that home versus work priorities are the reason that a number of women shouldn't and aren't given leadership positions and responsibilities. One of the main issues concerning this case study is the debunking of the popular belief that women have a more difficult time advancing their career because of the home versus work priorities. Another issue that ties in with the first issue is about trying to prove that it is in fact simply opinions from both men and women which appear to be the highest contributor to the issue of limited female management positions. Another issue is getting people to understand the differences between men and women in the workplace and their different styles of leading. An organization's culture is defined as the values and behaviours that contribute to the unique social and psychological environment of an organisation. Therefore, an organisation's culture can have a massive impact on the workers, no matter how high or low they are on the ladder of success. One way for a company to achieve some equality for women would be to try and take up the mantle of the Australian Standard on Gender-Inclusive Job Evaluation and Grading, which would help in many ways, such as providing less bias when concerning genders for job applications. An interesting example of this, although not totally business-based but more entertainment-based, is the TV show The Voice. The judges are not allowed to see the contestants. Instead, they assess them on their ability and not their gender. This is not to say that managers should go into the workplace blind and not evaluating their workers. They must place importance on their work. Even Jesus said not to throw your pearls before swine. However, he did say to love all, including your neighbour. This is done, as previously stated, through a non-judgmental process of evaluation on the worker's ability to heighten business and handle the pressure of higher responsibility positions. Another way is for managers to be able to properly manage gender bias. A staggering 61% of respondents to the Gender Equality in the Workplace Research Report believe that this was not evident in their workplace. 65% of respondents also believe that the current gender mix in the management and leadership was also unsatisfactory. An organisation's structure can have just as much impact on a company as the organisation's culture. An organisation's structure is the foundation of the company. The culture is the decorations and furnishings. Without a structure, a company will die off quite quickly because it has no basis, morals, values or visions. Without structure, jobs and goals could not be met. A structure is designed to put people together who not only work well together, but can produce excellent work through assigned responsibilities and tasks. In the case study, it is implied that while companies may have some sort of a basis structure for the company as a whole, they seem to lack any sort of structure when it comes to equality of women in the workplace. This lack of structure not only allows men in higher positions to hire people with the same style of working as themselves, but it can also push women to undersell their own qualities and capabilities. They may also do this for their own experience, even if it is proven that women are more experienced than a man going for the same job. Without an organisational structure, people can go on thinking and believing ideas they have heard for years, without taking a second glance at any of them or even disputing them. Structure intertwines itself with diversity and multiple processes. When a structure is established, other factors such as values and decision-makings can be introduced. Values in a company are incredibly important, as they are basically the foundational theory that a company is happy to take on and improve and grow with, while taking into consideration the people who work for them. Values are supposed to be what employees, no matter what their rank is, rely on. They are there to help at all times, no matter the circumstances, and are put in place to help the employees reach towards the company's goals and visions. However, sometimes values can be misinterpreted by employees simply because they think about them in a different way to what another employee might. There are about 5 different reasons people can vary on values. These are the power struggle between employees, the team versus individual struggle, the wanting to have structured circumstances instead of unexpected problems, the long time versus short time struggle, and finally, the male versus female struggle. The case being studied focuses largely on the last struggle of the male versus female. However, in this case, and throughout its collection of evidence, there has been an importance to make sure that those who studied are given a fair chance. In other terms, both male and female respondents were questioned, as Melanie Sanders, a Bain company partner, believed that the female-centric view is not as helpful. We need to hold the mirror up to both sides. This approach not only provides more detailed information, but it gives everyone a voice. For different companies and those who run them, it takes a fair amount of evidence to convince them that there is a problem within their own company and with the overall outlook of other companies. Different studies help significantly to provide this information, but sometimes because of the shortage or price of information, there can be a restriction to how people make rational decisions. For female equality in the workplace, there have been few actual studies that have taken place. This has created less than rational decisions from people holding authority, as well as less than rational beliefs that a woman's main and only roadblock in achieving success is home versus work priorities. When making decisions about workers, one must also think ethically. A person has to understand and be aware that their decision could be 3 different styles of deciding. These are utilitarian-based, rights-based, and justice-based. Most people, women included, believe that a justice-based decision is the best because it has an impact on a person's cognitive processes, which then leads to an enhanced decision through aspects such as soliciting input and providing timely feedback. Cropanzano suggests that justice-based decisions bring more approval than hostility to the idea being presented. Because these aspects are implemented, it is also suggested that workers are then more willing to share information and make rational decisions themselves. In summary, there are many different approaches that can be applied to this particular case study, some of those being organisational culture, the motivation of the individual, the values of both the company and the individual, and the decision-making involved. With the proper understanding that home priorities is not the most important factor in the diminished female leadership, but in fact opinions and values, hopefully the discrimination against a number of women will cease, making way for a more productive business life and workplace. To conclude, inequality between males and females is still present in businesses today, especially for women juggling work and home commitments. Most people think that it is because of this juggling of home versus work priorities that women cannot make their way higher on the success ladder. But it is simply different people's views and beliefs that are allowing the placement of stereotypes onto women and preventing them to achieve higher workplace status. Thank you for your time today.